Okay guys, so the next question is number of subarrays with bounded maximum. Let us give a read at the question. Given an integer array nums and two integers left and right, return the number of contiguous non-empty subarrays. So you have to return the number of subarrays where the value of maximum array element. So whatever is maximum in that array, that must be in the range of left to right. Okay, cool. So let us look at the first example or the second example. Let's take the second example. 29256 29256 and left is your 2 and right is your 8. Okay, and this is your nums array. So over here, if an array is given to you, you have to find all the subarrays and like you have to find the subarrays where the maximum lies in the range of left to right. Subarrays are always contiguous, that is you have to pick a start point and an end point and you need to pick all the elements within that start point and end point. You cannot make an array by skipping elements, for example 2 then 9 then you take a 5, that is not allowed. You need to take it in a contiguous fashion, then only it will be called a subarray. Okay, so I hope subarray is clear. Now what are the valid subarrays that I can make from this array of size 5? Obviously the number of subarrays is n into n plus 1 by 2. So in this case it is 15. 5 into 6, 30 by 2 is 15. So what are those 15 arrays? First I am making all the things that are starting with 2, then 2 9, after that 2 9 2, after that 2 9 2 5, right, after that 2 9 2 5 and 6, after that 9, then 9 2, then 9 2 5 6, 9 2 5, then 9 2 5 6, after that we have a 2, after that we have 2 and 5, then we have 2 5 6, after that we have 5, we have 5 6 and we have 6 alone. So you can count there are 15 of those, 1 3 4 5, 5 plus 4 9 plus 3 12, 13 14 and 1 15. So 15 of these subarrays. Now which of them are valid? Now always look at the maximum should lie within the range of left to right. What is maximum? 2. 2 is in range, so this is allowed. 2 and 9, the maximum is 9, so this is not allowed. Then 2 9 2, obviously whichever array 9 will be there, that will not be allowed. Let me just strike them off. 9 is over here, over here, over here, over here. Then in no other array 9 is present. Okay. Now guys, obviously see, if there was a 1 somewhere, that particular array would have been allowed, because you are allowed to have an element which is not in range of left and right. You are allowed, but the maximum should be in range. So basically if a number is already greater than, and if a number is present which is greater than right, obviously then the number will be maximum only. So in that case a number which is not within this range of left to right will not be allowed, like if it is greater than right, but if it is less than left, then it is allowed in the array. Please take special care in this point. If an element 1 is present, then it is allowed, the array is allowed. Only this one array, this is not allowed because there is only single element. But if an 1 is present with any element which is in range, suppose 1 and 6, this is allowed guys, because the maximum is 6 which is in range of left to right. I hope this point is also clear. Now obviously if you need to make all the subarrays in order to solve this question, this will go to order of n square, because your I loop will run from, obviously I loop will run from 0 to less than n, right, and your j loop will run from I to less than n. So basically listen carefully how we can do it in linear time guys. Suppose we have an array 5, then 6 we found 6, then we found 7, then we are about to find one more element, and for that whatever the calculations are, whatever the logics are, we are going to see over that. And suppose the left is suppose 5 and your right is for example 10. Okay, suppose this is your left and right. Now guys, obviously this is a sliding window, variable size sliding window question, because obviously if you have done with sliding window, they are of two types. One is your fixed type and the other is your variable type, where your k is given, that is window size is given to you, that a particular fixed window size is given to you and you have to do all your operation within that window size, then that is known as fixed size sliding window. And if the window length is unknown, window size is unknown, and you have to find out the window size only, in those kind of questions it is a variable size sliding window question. Over here the desired array can have a maximum which is within the range left and right. Nothing is mentioned about the size of the array. It can be anything between 1 to n, right? So yeah, over here the size is not specified, so this is a variable length sliding window question. So what we do is, over here guys, if we look at this, suppose I have a 5 over here. As soon as at first I just came across a 5, my start was over here and my end was over here. As soon as I came across a 5, my first thing is, how many arrays can I make with 5 which are in like, how many arrays can I make? Obviously 5 is this only, I can add this. Now this over here guys, the maximum of this subarray over here is 5, which is in range, so I will consider this. Now if my everything is okay, I can move my end. So I will move my end one place, my end will come over here, right? My end will come over here. Now it is 6. Now already I have this 5 in my answer, like answer is only an integer, like how many arrays are present, how many subarrays are present, where the maximum lies within left and right. That particular thing is just an integer, so I have added 1 to my integer answer. After that, when I come across a 6 is within range, then for this 6, how many new arrays are forming? See, if you see, observe carefully, it is 6, one is 6 itself and the other is 5, 6. With this 6 I can make these 2 arrays, and obviously as 6 is in range, so these 2 arrays are there that we are making, so I will add 2 to my answer. After that I have this 7. For this 7 is also in range, so how many arrays can I make? Suppose 7 I can take, 7 is a subarray, 6, 7 is another subarray. Also guys, 5, 6, 7 is another subarray that we can make. Now suppose after this guys, I come across a 4. Suppose I come across a 4. Now remember, 4 is not in range, 4 is less than left. But from this 4 we can make other subarrays that will have the desirable characteristics. See, what are the arrays that I can make? See, you can, if you follow the pattern, with the addition of every new element, I am trying to find out how many arrays can be formed, subarrays can be formed which are ending with 6. See, for 6 I have made these 2 subarrays which are ending with 6. For this 7 I have made these 3 subarrays that are ending with 7. For this 4 the new subarrays that will be present which are not in this list. Already before it also we have taken a list, right? These subarrays are already taken. But for 4, what are the new subarrays that can be formed? 4 is 1, then 7, 4 is 1, then 6, 7, 4 is 1, and then 5, 6, 7, 4 is 1. Now if you look carefully, what are among these 4 subarrays, which subarrays are allowed according to your question? Obviously this is not allowed, because over here the maximum is 4, which is less than left. Here maximum is 7, this is allowed. Here maximum is 7, here also maximum is 7, which is allowed. So if we find an element which is less than left, then whatever, how many arrays were formed in the previous step, I am saying that many arrays will be formed. In the previous valid step, which was 7, when we were counting for 7, 3 new arrays were formed. How did we get this number 3? I will be telling you after some time. But what I am saying is, if we find a lesser number which is less than left, then we will be having exactly the same numbers, that is 3 more, which was just like in the previous case. Let me do it, show you for another case. For example, 5, then 6, then only 4 came. If this was the condition, guys, if this was the condition, for 5 I have 5, okay, and if it as it is a number within the range, I will try to find out directly how many arrays will be formed of size which are ending with 5. Until here I will not be seeing these elements, right? After that I come over here, my start was over here, then my end was also over here, then my end came to 6. For this 6, what I find, 6 is in range, so obviously I will try to make all the possible things that are having 6 at the end. Then a 4 came. Now from this 4, guys, obviously this 4 will not be considered, only 6, 4 and 5, 6, 4 will be considered as valid subarray. As you can see, from 6, which was the last step, we got 2, here also we got 2. If this 4 is not in range, then only, if it is smaller than range. Now there can be another possibility where we find an element which is greater than right. In that case, guys, whenever we find an element which is greater than our right, In that case we need to reset things. Why? Because let us see this example, 29256, 29256, and the left is 2, right is your 8. Suppose I am over here, for 2 I have made a array 2. Now then I want 2 and 9. So as soon as I have 9 for 9, there will be this 9 and 2 9, and both these arrays are not allowed. See, both these arrays are not allowed because 9 is greater than 8. Both these things are not allowed, and there is no point in extending, because in subarray you will not be able to omit this 9 and proceed, right? So if we do not reset the things and we keep on incrementing my end, my start was over here, my end came over here, then if we just keep on incrementing our end, then all these arrays will be invalid. None of them will be a part of our desired answer, because 9 is a part of it. Once we have a element greater than our right as a part of the array, then the maximum does not lie within that range. So we should avoid this case. So whenever we get an element which is greater than our right, what we should do is move our start and end to one place ahead. End is automatically moving one place ahead. We should bring our start to end plus 1, and then end will increment automatically. Whenever my end was pointing to this 9, what I do is I don't add anything to my answer, because with this 9 we will not be forming a single array, subarray, which will be a part of the answer. So we don't add anything to our answer. What do we add? We make our start to end plus 1. Remember, the end is pointing to 9, so start comes over here, and naturally end plus we do, which brings your end to this position in the next iteration. I hope this part is clear. Now the thing is, another example I will show you in order to show you this thing only, that if we come across a number which is less than left, then we add the number of arrays that were formed in the previous step, and if the number is in range, we calculate how many we do. So let me give you another example. Suppose our range was again 5 to 10, my left is 5 and right is 10. Suppose I have suppose I have 5, then I have suppose 6, and suppose then 7. After that I have got 2 4s, and then I have got a 6. Suppose this is the thing. So for this 5, obviously there is 1, answer will become what? 1. After this, when my start is over here, then my end was also over here, then my end came to here. Then for this 6, we can make 2 new subarrays, so plus 2. After that, for this 7, I can make 3 7 1 7. First one is 7, another one is 6 7, the other one is 5 6 7. After that we come to 4. For 4 we will not be able to make 4 subarrays, but we will be making how many 7 made. How many subarrays did 7 make? 3. So sorry, 3 should have been added earlier only. After that, for this 4 it should be 3 only. After that, for this 4 also this should be 3, and for this 6, which is again in range, I should calculate again. For this 6, how many arrays can I make? Obviously 1 6, then 4 6, then 4 4 6, then 7 7 6. So how many elements are over here? That many number of windows can we make. So if my end was over here and if my start is over here, so can you say how many arrays I can make? It is end minus start plus 1. See, 6 is 1, then 4 6, then 4 4 6, then 7 4 4 6, then 6 7 4 4 6, and then the whole array 5 6 7 4 4 6. If you count how many arrays did I make? 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 arrays, right? What was the value of end? End was 0 1 2. I am indexing it up, 3 4 5. So end was 5 minus 0 plus 1, which is 6. So whenever I found out that I need to linearly travel the array, whenever we come across a new element, there can be 3 cases. Case 1 is in range. In range, we have to do 2 things. What are those steps? One is length of window or window size, WS I am taking. Window size will be equal to end minus start plus 1. That will be my window size, and if the number that we found is in range, that many new subarrays, this many, the window size is end minus start plus 1, that many new subarrays will be formed, which is our which should be taken into account, where the maximum is regulated. So with our answer, we should add the WS, and we should only update the WS whenever our number is in range. In case 2, whenever the number is not in range and it is less than left, in that case we don't take the new window size, because whatever the window size is, that many number of subarrays we don't get it, we get a little bit lesser number of subarrays. So in that case our answer would be incremented by whatever the window size was previously. Whenever this case 1 matched, whenever an element was in range, for that how many arrays we made, that many window size, the variable window size was updated with that. We don't need to re-update the window size, but directly that many subarrays will be formed with a number which we got, which is less than left. But in case we get a number which is greater than right, in that case we don't add anything to our answer. Answer equals to answer plus 0 I am writing just for symbolically defining, and also I should move my start to end plus 1. End plus 1. Also guys, as soon as a large element comes, for example in this example only 2 9 is there, 2 9 2, so 2 is there, then 9 is there, then 2 is there. For this 2, obviously the window size was end and start and end was pointing to 0, window size was 1. So for this the window size was 1, and for in the answer also we did answer plus equals to answer plus window size we did, so answer becomes 0 plus 1, so 1. After that when end came over here and I found that this is out of range, then what we did we moved our start over here and end obviously with plus plus, end plus plus, end also came over here. Now for this 2 the window size we will recalculate again, but if suppose this was 1, if it was smaller, then what we would have done is with answer we would have added the window size which was window size for this 2. After that a stop character came, a character greater than 9 came. So for that this window size 1 should not be added to whenever we get a smaller element. I hope you are getting the point. So in case we have got a larger element, in that case we should also define our previous as 0, we should also reinitialize our previous as 0. So these are the 3 cases that are possible, and these are the operations that we should do. Obviously guys, for the first time understanding this for the first time, it will be little tricky, but obviously the question problem statement should be clear, the brute force should be clear, and also you should be clear that whenever you are linearly iterating through the array, you are getting a new number. That new number can lie within 3 ranges, like there can be 3 cases only. Either that number lies within the given range of left to right, either the number is lesser than left. In case of lesser than the left, I can take that number, but obviously the array that is formed with a single character of that number, single integer of that number, that must not be taken, because there the maximum is less, rest all the arrays should be taken. So that we have found out that if the found integer is less than left, then with the answer the previous window size only we add, the previous element which was in range. For that how many arrays we got, that many arrays we will get. If you just take this example guys, where did the last example, if you just take this example 5 6 7 4 4 6, 5 6 7 4 4 6, if I only write the allowed integers which I get at every step, see 6 and 5 6, then this is also in range. Remember, left I am taking as 5 and right I am taking as 8. Then for this 7 I am getting 7, then I am getting 6 7, then I am getting 5 6 7. For this 4 I will get 3 only, because 7 was in valid range, 4 is less, 4 is not in valid range. So for this 4 also, whatever the arrays that were added for 7, that many arrays, with this only if you add 4, 7 4, 6 7 4, 5 6 7 4, these are the arrays that are formed. And also for this 4 it will be referring to this 7 only, because this 4 alone also will not form, this 4 along with the previous 4 will also not form an required array. So the required array will be equal to the window size of the previous length. You have to understand this thing only. And reset idea, in case 3 when it is greater than right, then reset idea is also quite simple. If you get a maximum number which is greater than right, then that will be the maximum at least. So in that case I will not be able to take that array. I hope the thing is clear. I will quickly code it up guys. So what I need to do is, I need to take a int n equals to nums.length, then I have a start and end variable. In start equals to 0 and also my end should also be equals to 0. After that, what do I do is I run the loop. While my end is less than n, I will go until that particular position. Also I should take a int previous also you can take, or window size also you can take. Previous because if a number is smaller, then we should add it with the previously how many elements were there, that much I should add. So basically I am taking it as previous only, right? Previous, I am setting it to 0, and also answer also I am starting it with 0 because I have 0 before the starting of the iteration. I have 0 such subarrays which matches the condition. After that, what do? I iterate through the array. Now what I need to see is if the new element that I am standing on is greater than or in range or less than, right? So if my nums of end is greater than equals to left, and nums of end is less than equals to right, if it is in range, guys. If it is greater than left and less than equals to right, then what do? We calculate the window size or previous. Our previous becomes what? Your end minus start plus 1, right? And with your answer, you increment your answer by previous. Else, if your nums of end is less than your left only, if it is lesser than the left, then I don't need to calculate the previous again, because whatever the previous was, I will add my answer with that only, answer plus equals to prev. I hope this is clear. And else, obviously, if it is more than right, then we don't need to add anything with our answer, but what we should do is we should reassign our prev to 0, as well as I should move my start to end plus 1. Like end will also move, but end will move for all the cases, right? Even if we found a smaller element, or if we found an element in range, in all the cases, in respective of everything, we should move our end. Only start should move when we find a greater element. Only start should move in this particular case when nums of end. This is the case basically where nums of end is greater than right. In that case, our start should also move, because we should form a new starting point. If we rely on the same starting point which was earlier, then the greater element will always be a part of the subarray and will not be getting any desirable arrays, right? So that is the while loop. This is the while loop structure, guys. Okay, after this, after the end of this while loop, my answer variable will have my answer that should be returned. If I just run this, it's accepted. I hope this is a little bit of lengthy video, but it beats almost 100%, right? So yeah, this is a spend some time on it. It is a little bit trickier. What you are doing is in every step we are trying to find out if this is in range, how many new arrays will be found, because for 5, 6 we have already taken care of taken into account these subarrays in our answer. Already we have taken these things. Once we get a new element, what are the new subarrays that are getting formed because of this? So you need to do that. So if you get a new element, obviously whatever the length of the window is, that many new subarrays you will get. And if you get an element which is smaller than left, then 4 as a element directly will not be a subarray that will be accepted, but rest of them will be accepted. How many rest of them will be there? In the previous element which was in range, for that how many elements were added, how many subarrays were added, that many subarrays will be added for it also. And if you get a greater number, then we need to reset everything. That's it, guys. I hope you have understood it. Thank you.